Hi, everyone. Good morning. Happy week of Valentine's Day. Happy Thursday. Today is a beautiful day that has been made by God, and we are blessed and happy to see another morning. Me llamo Doctora Lulu. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Momatrician, the Black Parent Coach, the LGBTQ plus Parents Coach. Yes, today's another Thursday, and we're here to talk about something that's been on my mind because that's how we do, right? And I don't have a guest today either, but I'm here and I'm ready to rumble. So, you must have seen the title Sex, Shame, Self Sabotage. Like, what is Dr. Lulu talking about? What's got her all fired up this morning? So last night I was doing some reflection and I went live on Instagram, which, by the way, are you following me on Instagram yet? At Dr. Lulu Talk Radio. Go on, do it, and then come back. Okay. Don't forget, go on, come back. This is YouTube. So this video is going to be here forever. So Dr. Lulu Talk Radio is my current IG. And I say current because I've been hacked before and I lost all of my IG, so it can happen again. But guess what? We are here, we are queer, and we're not going anywhere. All right. So I wanted to talk about sex, shame, and self sabotage. So if you don't know yet, on Mondays, I have my parents coaching, group coaching slash support group that has been on for about a year now. Actually, this is going to be the last week, the last month of it. We're going to be revamping all of that. But in the meantime, we had one of our meetings and only one mom showed up. So she had an amazing one-on-one with me. While we were talking, I realized that even though I assumed that she was doing better with parenting her LGBTQ plus child, she's got a femboy who is pansexual, who dresses like a girl and, does what he does. Pronouns he, him. So we started talking, and I realized that she is not quite where I thought she was with supporting her child. She still has some lingering shame and some lingering disappointments with some of his choices and some lingering issues there. And, like I talk about all the time, I can only coach the person in the coaching lounge. My coaching lounge is called Dr. Lulu's Life Coaching Lounge. So go check it out, will you? Dr. Lulu's Life Coaching Lounge. Just go check it out. dr-lulu.com. So she was concerned about the fact that her kid is, he started schooling for engineering, then he quit, and now he's just working. I don't know where he's working, but he's working. And then she compares him to his siblings who obviously are not queer, at least as far as we know, and are not dropping out of school from engineering, having student loans that they have to pay and things like that. And then while we were talking, it came to both our realizations that she still struggles with coming out of her own closet fully, with her full chest, like we say in Nigeria, as the parent of a queer child. And so the question today is, what about you? Are you also kind of sort of out, but not quite fully? And yes, I use closet when it comes to parents because you're not queer. So you are literally intentional about putting yourself in the closet. Your kids, on the other hand, they've never been in a closet before. And if you don't know about that, watch my TEDx talk titled Rethinking the Closet, Coming Out versus Inviting In. Okay. So we realized that she's still not quite there yet, fully, as a parent of a queer child. She's Black, she's a Christian, she's me, So I wanted to talk about that. Shame, self-sabotage, and sex. And so they all connect in you. Yes, you knew I was going there, right? They all connect in you, and here's how. So when you first find out that your child is LGBT, whatever they are in the spectrum, the truth is the first thing that we as parents and as the outside world think about is, you guessed it, sex. We're thinking same-sex sex, right? That's what we're thinking about. Your child tells you that they're transgender, you go to sex. Your child tells you that they're asexual. You go to sex. Wait, asexual, Dr. Lulu? Exactly. See where I'm going with this? Your child tells you that they are lesbian. You go to sex. So the first thing we think about when our children tell us that they're in the LGBT plus community is sex. You start thinking about sex. And because we have been socialized to shame sex, period, because we have been socialized to attach negative connotations to sex, an otherwise beautiful thing, which I like to call lovemaking, actually. Of course, there's other kinds of sex that we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about if you're sexually assaulted. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about consensual sex. Sadly, though, while you're so busy worrying about sex and shaming sex and the idea of sex, the truth is that's not true because you have sex. You had sex to have your baby. And sex ideally should be beautified. We should not be shaming sex. Sex is a good thing when it's done right. However, your child is not worried about sex. Your child is just trying to breathe, trying to survive, especially if your child is Black. Especially if your child is Black. Your child is not thinking about sex. I mean, if your child is 14, they might be thinking about sex. But the truth is, so is your straight child. Your child is not thinking about sex. Your child is just trying to be who they are. And if they are Black, their intersectionality is Black, queer, and everything else in between, which we shall talk about next week. So, enter shame because you're thinking about sex. Because all you can think about is sex. And because we have been socialized to shame sex, period, you now feel ashamed. And wait, you also have been socialized to think that everything LGBT is bad. Everything LGBT is bound to hell. Everything LGBT is not good. And so the shame really comes and sits down and even orders a drink. But here's the thing though. Because you're so worried about sex, you forget to parent. You forget to be curious and ask questions like, wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing with me. How long have you known? Oh my goodness. How cool. Tell me more, right? How can I help? How can I make your life easier? You don't think about that because you're too busy shaming, even shaming yourself for being a parent of a queer child. Yes, you go into shame and guilt and fear. And a word came up for me yesterday, embarrassment. Yes, you're embarrassed to say that your child is queer. You're embarrassed to say that your child is trans. You're embarrassed. And as a result, you self-sabotage. Yes, you're not able to show up fully as their parent. That's sabotaging. Yes, that is sabotage. You know you should be doing this, but you do everything not to do that. You don't want to tell your family members. You don't want to tell the school. You don't want to tell your friends. You don't want to tell your spouse. Hey, you don't even want to tell yourself because you don't believe it. You think it's a phase. It's, I don't know, a choice. They can just stop being gay whenever they're ready. They can just un-gay themselves. And so, my friend, that is how sex, shame, and self-sabotage come together when it comes to parenting your queer child. You think I don't experience that? Child, please. I experienced that. I'm Nigerian. Let me tell you a story. Valentine's Day, I met this guy online. We went out on a date on Valentine's Day. Now, in all fairness, and this is up to you to decide, but for me, I've already decided that anybody that I go out on a date with is purely on a need-to-know basis before they know about my child. I just don't feel like everybody should know about it. However, if we get a second date, if you're cool enough to earn a second date with me, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I do for a living, which is tightly connected to my child and my queerness as a result, as well, rather, not as a result, as well. So that's my own personal decision to only tell people who I go on a date with if and when they earn it. That said, everybody else knows about it. And I had a gentleman actually tell me that he now realizes that we can only be friends because he looked up what I do and he didn't have to say it. He's homophobic. But guess what? Nobody's going to shame me about that. I'm cool. I was like, you know what? Do sis. And twice on Sunday. you know? So I just wanted to come and holler at you this morning and let you ask yourself, where do you fall in all of the stuff that we've talked about this morning? Do you think sex, as soon as your child tells you that they're LGBT, do you think sex? Be honest. And if you don't, kudos. Kudos. Okay? That's number one. Number two, are you as a result feeling ashamed? Do you now shame yourself and maybe even shame your kid or try to shame your kid, which I did? I was like, don't paint your nails when grandma is here, please. Don't act so girly. Quit acting like a girl. Do you also do that? Inadvertently, of course. You're not doing it on purpose. Nobody ever does it on purpose. Also, they say. And then, do you also self-sabotage? Do you? And if you do, what are you going to do about it? So, of course, as a life coach, I'm not going to give you answers. I'm going to bring up the topic. I'm going to paint your pain. I'm going to tell you that you're doing it. And I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do about it? And so if you have questions about what to do about it, great. I come in. I'm a life coach and I can help you navigate the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions because they're real. My job is to hold space for you to let you know that you are seen and you are heard and you are valid. Everything you're feeling is valid. However, is it the right feeling that you need in order to not self-sabotage when it comes to parenting your queer child? Really, parenting any child for that matter. Is it the right move? And if you think it's the right move, kudos to you. If you don't, if you're wanting to do differently, you're wanting to do better, you're wanting to be there for your child, then let's talk. I can help you. So go to my website, dr-lulu.com, fill out the form, and let's talk about it. Or you can go to my Calendly site, which I'm going to put down here. I don't know if I put that the last time. So my Calendly is calendly.com/Dr. Lulu/work. That's how to get to work with me. I just put that in the comment section. Yes. Otherwise, my website, thank you for asking, is dr-lulu.com. Go on there, look around, see some of the things that I have for y'all over there. And if you want to follow me on social media, nice, at Dr. Lulu Talk Radio. What I'm trying to do is same as my YouTube channel, I'm trying to work on revamping my parents group coaching. So February is the last month we're going to do it the way we're doing it. Our fees are going up. Our engagement is going to be different. I'm going to be actively teaching parents specifically who are struggling with connecting with their kids, connecting with their queer kids, connecting. Because at one point we're connected at the breasts and then we're connected with hugs and little butterfly kisses. And then something happens and we become disconnected. So I can help you with that. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Momatrician. Thank you so much for listening to me today. So remember, the question is, where do you fall in that cycle or circle of sex, shame, and self-sabotage as regards to your parenting your LGBTQ plus child? Until next week, where I'll be in San Diego. So I don't know how we're going to work that, but we'll see. But until next week, peace, love, peace, love, and soul. You think I will have learned that by now? I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. So again, my name is Dr. Lulu. Hey, tell someone about me. Okay?